All right, we're going to call to order the Torrington Board of Education regular meeting for Wednesday, April 22nd. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call. Mrs. Capitan.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mrs. Horn is not. Mr. Kisco.
Here.
Mr. Knight.
Here.
Mr. Lemoyne.
Here.
Mr. Nargi.
Here.
Mrs. Richardson.
Here.
Mr. Tebow.
Here.
Mr. Trubb. Mayor Carbone.
Here.
Mrs. Ayers.
Here.
Sitting next to Mr. Pacetta, Mr. Campolita. Here. Mrs. Clark. Ms. Lombowski, Mr. Todd. Here. Student representative. Not. Okay. School community session. The board invites members of the community to speak on topics to be addressed in the agenda or on other topics of interest. Individuals wishing to make a comment are requested to fill out the speaker sign-up sheet, including your name and address, which must also be stated at the beginning of your comments. The board will not allow comments regarding specific staff members or personal grievances. Courtesy is expected in this limited public forum. The participating time will be limited to 3 minutes per person and 10 minutes overall. Chase Jesperson.
My name is Chase Jesperson, co-owner of Jesperson's Landscaping out of Torrington, Connecticut. We recently submitted a bid on the outsourcing of grounds maintenance of all 9 locations in Torrington. We are currently the lowest bidder in the bid. I'm here to question, one, when you will be making a decision about the bid. As if we were awarded the bid, the approaching date is near, and a bid of this size, we would need to know in advance to prepare for it. And then secondly, I understand you're looking at the second highest bid, which is a contractor who is located out of town. So I'm here to question why you are not looking at our bid. Is there something we do not qualify for? In my eyes, I think we qualify fairly for everything. As well, we might be above qualified because we are a local contractor in town who pays taxes in town. All of our employees are also located in town within the city. So if anybody can give me some further details as to when the decision will be made for the bid and why you are not looking at our contract at this point.
Well, during the public participation, you guys make statements. We don't necessarily answer them. You
Okay.
can contact Mr. Pacetta tomorrow morning.
Okay.
He should have the answers for all those questions for you.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Cash.
Yes, sir. Hello, my name is Patrick Cashman. I live in Torrington. Good evening, everybody. I've been a custodian for the Torrington Board of Education for 27 years. I am here tonight to express concern over the hiring of subcontractors to do our outside grounds before replacing custodians to clean the inside of our school buildings. In just the past year, we have lost 3 custodial positions. 1 night man at both Torrington Middle School and Torrington High School, and 1 night position tragically lost at Forbes School. With these 3 positions not being filled and a 4th man retiring in July, this will bring the number of custodians cleaning our schools, and more important, our children's schools, to only 24 custodians. A big cut to staffing, seeing that 10 years ago, there were 38 custodians cleaning the schools and maintaining the grounds. Back when I started in 1988, the top priority of our leaders was that the schools be cleaned, top to bottom, every night. If we were shorthanded for a night, there would be overtime allowed to get the job done. Over the years, even though the custodian overtime has slowly been eliminated, we custodians did more with less and have strived to keep up with our duties. But slowly over the last 10 years, our manpower has also shrunk to levels so low that we are in need of the board hiring some additional custodians. Our schools no longer are getting cleaned top to bottom the way they should be for our children and staff. An important task to ensure tools for schools and school safety and health criteria can be met and maintained. Perhaps instead of hiring outside contractors, it would make more sense to bring back some of the staff lost over the years. I believe this would be much more cost effective. By hiring back just 2 custodians, that would be 2 more bodies in our schools to clean year-round, 12 months, for about the same cost as hiring a subcontractor for only 7 months of the year. Also, with permanent staff, you, the board, have custodians that have a vested interest and responsibility to their job and the city's public educational system. They are directly accountable to you, the board, and would be answerable to you, the public, parents, and staff, unlike an outside contractor who are out of reach of the board. I would also like to add that hiring an outside contractor may sound great, but when it comes time for that contract to end, it is highly unlikely that the next 3-year bids will be at such low amounts. The price of these next contracts could be double or more than what will have to be cut from the budget to support the outside contractors. In closing, I would like to thank you for hearing us tonight and listening to our concerns about this matter.
Approval of the agenda. Motion.
I'd like to make a motion to remove action item 6A because this has not been vetted yet by the budget committee.
So a motion to approve the agenda minus 6A.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? I'm entering right on time.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry. I didn't have time to record it, so I just have to read it from here. Recently, Torrington High School Marching Band had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to march in the National Cherry Blossom Parade. Parade officials stated that this was the largest crowd to ever attend the festival. Also, when visiting various monuments, the band had an honor of laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery and meeting with a World War II honoring flight from Rhode Island. The students were able to experience some living history as they thanked and listened to stories from the veterans. Yesterday, March 21st, the track team had their first home meet on the new track. On May 29th, Torrington High School will be hosting their 2nd annual Raider Rally. It is a charity fundraiser that will be raising money for Fish, Susan B. Anthony, and Friendly Hands. The goal is to raise $21,000. The last rally in 2013 raised $13,500. Construction Technologies class is constructing their largest building ever, a barn that will be donated to the Historical District in Farmington. Once Upon a Mattress, the spring musical, starts next Friday. Tickets are on sale now. For adults, it is $12 and $10 for students. Tomorrow, the bands of Torrington Public Schools will be having a concert in the Torrington High School gym. The schools include all the elementary bands, the 2 middle school bands, and the high school band. It will be at 7, and over 400 students in 5th through 12th grade will be participating. Lungs for Jenny is collecting donations for the Boston Children's Hospital. Torrington High School softball team does not feel their fields are being prepared as well as they should be for their games. They're not being raked or lined properly. The Science Club has been bringing awareness to Earth Week by providing more ways to recycle into the school, selling plants and healthy smoothies, and plans to show a science movie in the Little Theater to show the importance of staying green. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent's report.
if they would, and the physical education teacher from Forbes, and Mrs. Creedon, if she's here, and the music teacher.
And the art teacher.
And the art teacher, okay, I didn't know if I got everybody, but would they please come forward and,
Right up into the middle.
I've invited the kindergarten, well, I've invited this group of teachers from Forbes here this evening because to say that they put together an amazing program for the public focused around collaboration between these subject areas, content areas, and specials, essentials in my book. And our kindergarten and fifth grade students. And that's all I'm going to say because I would like you to be the spokespersons, people.
Well, I brought the idea to the teachers beginning of the year, and it took that long to pull it together. And as you said, at the beginning of the year, we had a workshop where we were introduced as essentials. And to play off of that, I truly believe that art, music, physical education are essentials to developing the whole child. And the collaboration that we created with the kindergarten teachers, with the essentials, with the fifth grade teachers who had the older boys and girls mentor our younger kindergartners while they did the circus was very special. The kids loved it. When I mean the kids, I'm talking about not only the kindergartners and not only the fifth graders who were the mentors, but the entire school. They enjoyed it to such a level that when they came back to physical education and to art and to music, they were just overwhelmed with how much they enjoyed watching the kindergartners. Sandy brought all of the acts to life with the firehouse, with the costumes. The teachers did extra practice times, gave up planning times so that we could practice. So it was a true collaboration of everyone coming together. It was a labor of love. I think one of the things that helped me to encourage myself to do it was the fact that I was at Forbes School the entire year. I wasn't going to a different school, so I was able to devote the time I needed to make the collaborations work. So I think in that respect, it helped to enhance the classroom, enhance what they were doing with the playful learning. It just made it all come together. And if you want to add to.
I think you've said it all. I'm not sure what to add. I basically, as you said, did most of the artwork with the kids, and I not only did it with the kindergarten kids, but the fifth grade kids were involved also. So, and they were different fifth graders than what you had.
Right.
So I also grabbed a few fifth graders to work with the kindergarten kids, and it was really nice to see them learning from each other. You know, they painted the firehouse, and regardless of how small they were, they reached for the roof. So, I mean, they really enjoyed it. They learned a lot from it. I noticed that one of the students from Mrs. Krakus's class, he really blossomed after this, Cole. And he was a little more timid when he would come into class and quiet. Now he was a magician, so now he's the star. So he came into class and he was, "Hi, Mrs. Wall," and he sees me in the hallway now and he's always waving. So it's really nice to see these kids come out of their shell.
And it's nice to take the skills that the push-ups and the seal walks and the balancing, and to give it a different perspective for the children, because it made them enjoy it more, it made them love movement, and incorporating the music from Nancy Ritter, our music teacher, it just brought it all together. So we really enjoyed doing it.
It really needs to be done on more levels, I think.
The other thing that helped is having all day kindergarten. Because if we had half day, there was no way we were gonna be able to pull this whole thing off. So the time that we worked, and I know Cheryl has worked with us and Sue this summer on executive function skills, that's what we worked on in the classroom, is developing the stamina for these kids to be able to watch someone else perform, or sit and encourage other ones, and persevere. We had a couple kids, I have one who has difficulty with gross motor, but watching him crawl across that plank, you know, as a lion and roaring, I mean, it just made these kids come to life more than what they do academically. I mean, some of these kids, like they were saying, you know, come in quiet, but now it's a whole different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
They've been the stars of the show, so
Yeah.
they know what that's about. But
You know, it was a wonderful example of collaboration. I mean, all of these educators, Nancy Ritter is not with us tonight, our music teacher, but an incredible amount of preparation, planning, giving up their own time, meeting mornings, giving up their prep time. And this is the kind of thing that is just so wonderful to be a part of and to see. And I have to just tell you, my favorite act, I mean, we had lions, we had tigers, we had strong men, we had the magician and clowns galore. Those were all great. But I just have to tell you, my favorite part was we had human cannonballs. The two tiniest children in kindergarten were dressed in jumpsuits, helmets, capes, right. They went into, at the proper cue, they went into this tipped up garbage can, and then there was the drum roll, bum, 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 and then a fifth grade helper hit the bottom of the can, and boom, they came out.
Through the fire.
But all kindergartners were involved, many fifth graders were involved, the entire school appreciated it, and to see all of these kindergartners waiting their turn, because the whole show took like 45 minutes. And so they're all, the lions, the tigers, the elephants, the seals, they're all waiting. So to have kindergartners wait for their moment on stage really is a tribute to the kind of work that these folks do every day.
And somebody said it best, is that once the children went into costume, they knew exactly what was expected, what they had to do, and they became, you know, they could play the character that they had to do. But now I have one little board question. So can you please share with the board, how does this help other learning besides executive functions? Does it help reading? Does it help mathematics in the kindergarten classroom?
Well, I mean, I think I'm not going to be the only spokesperson, and I certainly don't want to be the last one to speak. But executive functioning is the foundation for learning everything. That's the vehicle to learn, you know. And like Mrs. Fern was saying, in full-day kindergarten, we're given the opportunity to have an hour of play at the end of every day. And prior to that hour, 45 minutes to an hour of play, children have to plan out their play. It's not like, here's a bunch of Legos, have at it. You know, they have to come up with a picture, a sentence, sometimes another sentence, and think through what they want to do. And then they carry it out, and while they're there, they can't just all of a sudden go to the kitchen. They can't all of a sudden go somewhere else. They have to control those impulses, and they have to have that working memory and that flexibility to do those things. And that's where they practice it. Their main modality for learning at this age is play. You said it. It is play, and so they learn it and they get good at it there. And then when we have to sit down and do a word study, when we sit down and do a reading workshop, they're not, you know, flipping and flying all over. They can receive the instruction, and then they can go on and apply it. So it's not independent of executive functioning. I don't know if that's a trick question. You know, that is what is needed.
And the holistic piece is critical, because we do want to teach through multiple intelligences so that all children can feel successful regardless of what their developmental level in a certain area is.
I can't say enough. Like I have a student who is on the spectrum and receives multiple services, and one of them being PT and upper body strength. And he was a SEAL. He was a trained SEAL. And my IA and I were, I don't know if you can do those, maybe you should ask yet. He got him the whole way. He did it. And there was another child who is a lion who is visually challenged. And he did the whole, I mean, so these were not just, you know, the cream of the crop kids. These were everyone, and they all did it, and they all looked wonderful, and the whole school was captivated. They were captivated. They had the little clowns running around throwing the water, and you know, and it was. There were times at other presentations where, you know, the crowd could get a little bit noisy. Not this time.
I was there in the morning, and I think, you know, I was probably the one who misbehaved the most because I was having a blast. Sue kept saying, shh, shh. So, thank you. I just, This will be aired? or is
Every,
it-
every Tuesday, we had our first broadcast of the circus last night at 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock on Channel 22, public access.
And it'll be going on, can it go on our website?
It'll be going on the website also, yes.
Great.
Cheryl, I'd like to just add a thank you to the Board of Ed and to you for approving our all-day kindergarten program, because this would never have happened in a half-day program. So we really thank you. It's benefited in so many ways, academically, socially, and then working together like this. We just could not have done this.
It's been a win-win for the students,
has.
for the teachers,
Mhm.
for the district.
Definitely.
And we invite all members of the board to come and visit us anytime.
Anytime.
Thank you very much for coming this
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you.
Fifth grade is,
Allison's here.
Allison's here. Allison, could you please come forward? Allison Ipek, and she is our teacher for the Gifted and Talented program.
So I put together some packets of some of the information that I have used to work with and the students that participated in the Invention Convention. So I thought I could pass that around if you're interested. I just prepared a little something to say, and it's, I learned I could solve problems anytime, quickly. I have different potentials that I didn't know I had. I learned to never give up on myself, that you have to keep pushing. Don't give up when it gets hard. These are some of the personal achievements these students have gained. Not only did they design and build original inventions, they learned that with innovation, creativity, problem solving, teamwork, and perseverance, they can be successful in surmounting hard challenges. I'm so proud of these students for their willingness to go above and beyond, for their extra time and dedication, for their strength to take risks, to push their own limits, and most especially for their passion for learning. They did this all because they wanted to, and they were so driven. When you got these group of kids together, it's this amazing thing. Ideas are flying, and they're laughing, and they're building on each other's ideas, or solving each other's problems as a team. It's just a remarkable experience with a group of kids like this. I would like to thank you, the Torrington Board of Education, for providing this opportunity for these students to excel and to shine. It has truly been a pleasure working with them. I think the most successful part of the Invention Convention was that it brought students and parents from all the elementary schools together to celebrate great student achievement. Not only were the students engaged, the parents were actively listening. Perhaps one parent's comment at the end of the evening sums it up best. Wow, these kids are all so smart. Thank you for supporting the Gifted Enrichment Program for Torrington.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah.
Was this just the talented and gifted students, or was this opened up to all fifth graders?
It was a mix. I had talented and gifted students that were identified previously, but I wanted more, so I asked for teachers to recommend some kids that they thought could handle it and would benefit from it. So I really wanted to try that mixed group. I had about mostly about 8 kids per school. So every day I'm at a different school, and I would meet with them usually through lunch and a half hour, because I was worried about the pull-out time for the teachers and trying to get this program off the ground and sell it. So we worked through lunchtime in different spaces. That was kind of tricky. Sometimes I'm on the floor in the music room, sometimes I'm in a computer lab, but I get booted out the next day, or different funky spaces. Some worked well, some was a little hard, but whatever. We just did that. We made it work. So.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And in your packet, you did have the list of the inventors of choice and runners-up.
I don't know if I have that in that packet.
I put mine.
Oh, good, because I do have that information, but
you know, I
Okay.
included it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so there will be one person from each school, and I asked for an extra person so that each school could have a representative at UConn presenting their inventions for the statewide convention that's on May 2nd.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Allison. I'd like to ask Joanne Ryan and Lauren Smith to come forward and share about the young entrepreneurs from Torrington Public Schools this year.
Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to be back. I actually taught at the school for a year, about a long time ago, though. Representing the Chamber of Commerce, we have long worked hard and diligently to better connect the business community with our educators and most especially our students. And I heard about YAY, Young Entrepreneurs Academy, about 3 years ago at a convention of the New England Chamber Execs. And right away, I jumped. I said, this is it. Because it includes children and students from grades 6 through 12. And I got back to my office and I was all enthusiastic. And of course, I was worried that, my staff would say, here she comes with another crazy idea. Well, fortunately, Lauren Smith, who's our Director of Special Activities, had done this program, a program similar when she was in college, so I knew we were in luck. So that was 3 years ago, well, 2.5 years ago when we began planning. And we immediately, we had to make a stop. We had to make sure that the schools would respond to this, because this is an outside of school program. It goes from October through May, one night a week, and we hold it at the community college in Winston. So sure enough, we went right to Cheryl Flacco, and I just have to tell you that I don't even think we finished the first sentence. And your wonderful superintendent jumped at it and knew that it was the perfect program. And so I want to turn this over to Lauren, who is our director. There is no way that the program would be successful had it not been for Lauren directing it. We've completed our second year, and she'll tell you all about it, and then we do have a surprise guest with us.
The important person. So the Young Entrepreneurs Academy is a 30-week course. It's a very intensive program for students in grades 6 through 12 who actually want to launch their own real business. So it's not a simulation, it's all completely real. We meet every Wednesday at the community college from 4 to 7. So it's a really long day for these kids, and Kaylee can attest to that. And they do a lot of work outside of class too. The first 10 weeks they developed their business idea, and the second 10 weeks they wrote a full and complete business plan that rival a lot of the adult business plans that we've seen at the chamber. So they wrote their full business plan, and then they presented their businesses to a panel of real investors who invested money in their business. So all of our student businesses obtained funding at the investor panel, and Kaylee was actually overfunded because they thought that her business was especially unique and interesting. So, and then one student business was chosen to go on to compete in the regional semifinals on behalf of our class, compete against the other YAY classes across the country. So we're the only YAY class in the state of Connecticut, but there's 50-something classes across the country. So we're very lucky to be the only one in Connecticut, and we would take students from anywhere, but the majority of our kids do come from Torrington. This year we only have one student from Wamogo, but it's open to anyone. There is a kind of a long application process. They fill out the application, they get letters of recommendation, we ask for their transcript, they come for an interview with Joanne and myself, and then they're accepted into the program. So this year we have 8 kids in the program who have made it this far, and we only have like 4 weeks left. The graduation is May 13th if you want to come and watch them graduate. The investor panel, I wish we were here before that, because that's an amazing event to see, and Cheryl's been, and these kids blow your mind away. They're fabulous. I'm like getting all choked up because I love them so much.
I think everything that the Common Core Standards asks of students occurs naturally through this process with what they have to read, what they have to write, what they have to present, everything.
Absolutely. They learn all the financials. They learn every aspect from the business from start to finish. And then we have people that come in to talk to them about insurance, because they'll have to get insurance. Today they learned about taxes, which they weren't so excited about, but they need to know that stuff too. But we have the guest speakers that come and teach them all of that other stuff. So now they have a network of people that are willing to help them as they start their business. So right now, they're launching their DBAs, they're filing for their EIN numbers, they're opening their bank accounts. So they're up and running. So this is Kaylee, and she's one of our businesses, and I'm gonna let her talk about the program and what it means to her.
First of all, I'd like to thank the board for giving us the scholarship money for this because it helped so much. And just the program is just amazing in and of itself. It gives high school kids and middle school kids the opportunity to start a business, which it's not very uncommon among teens. I mean, it just gives them an amazing opportunity. And for me, what's come out of it is I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this program. I mean, I just had my debut at Joey's Fashions, and everything's just rolling so fast and getting so good with this business. And I could never have imagined it ever happening. And it's such a good program because it teaches you so much. It's extensive, but it gives kids a taste of the real world and that anything's possible. That you can have this dream, say for tulle skirts, and you can do it. You can accomplish it.
Yeah, you didn't even tell them what your business is.
Oh yeah, it's safer in the newspaper.
It's on NBC too. It's on NBC Friday and Saturday, so.
Yeah, and just I mean, all the kids are so nice. The instructor, she's been amazing through all of it. And same with Joanne, and speakers have been so fun, field trips, and it's just something that I love. And it's just pretty much just really fun. That's all.
What's your business?
Oh, my business is Crazy Cakes, and it's tulle skirts, which is these.
I'm sorry, you.
She makes
Makes
handmade
tulle skirts.
handmade tulle
skirts.
skirts.
Oh, the.
Yeah.
And Kamika would like one.
Yes, I think so. They're in the window of Joey's Fashions in downtown Torrington.
I don't get downtown much.
Oh. Well, we're gonna bring your daughter down, that's what we're gonna do.
I would like to add, yesterday we had the commissioner from the Department of Economic Development visiting the city of Torrington. And we were walking down Main Street and we stopped at Joey's Fashions and showed him and talked to him a little about the BOE program. So I absolutely agree. And again, it's just another little piece that, when we're trying to develop an economic base in the city of Torrington, it's great to see our young people out there and making a difference. So thank you.
And I think I would, like the public to know that we are creating a future citizenry for Torrington who will be invested in the town, stay here, and, become involved in the town in the future.
Well, thank you for your support, we really appreciate it. And you just have to meet all of these students, they are amazing. They stood in front of an audience of almost 200 and presented their business. I still get butterflies in my stomach, and they did this without a hitch. And one student will be representing our team, the foldable drone. Hopefully he's going
Sixth grader at the middle school.
And hopefully he's going to win the competition and go to DC to compete for a $35,000 scholarship to the University of Rochester, which they would hold for him when he graduates from high school. So, I mean, the opportunities are tremendous. So we just are so appreciative, and we just love the two students at this school district. They're amazing.
What do you hope to do with your business in the future?
Oh, for me, I hope to continue it. I mean, who knows what the future holds, but definitely to move forward with this, and because it's just been going so great, and so definitely expand out beyond tulle skirts, and maybe dabble in some other clothing, but definitely, yeah, try to continue this as long as I can.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
Where is the graduation on the 13th?
It's at the community college in Founders Hall in the auditorium, and it's at 6 o'clock.
Is that a Wednesday?
Yeah,
You know,
I know,
we're
we just said.
meeting. I just thought that might be a conflict.
You could meet there.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you would do this, are you gonna continue doing this program?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, we're getting more referrals now from the students themselves, encouraging their friends who follow behind to join the program. So it's really extraordinary, and we see that some of them come back. They came back to our
Yeah, our investor panel, there was a bunch of them from last year that came. They wanted to see it and not be nervous about presenting. They could relax and watch everybody else. Because it was nerve-wracking, right?
It was definitely
A lot of them had never done public speaking before. It's their first time, and they did amazing.
We have our annual meeting Monday with the governor as the keynote, and one of the students will be speaking in front of that audience, because we want the governor to know, and all of our members, and we have well over 250 coming, to see the success of our young people. And they are our future leaders, so the more we can do, the better it's going to be.
We may have a new manufacturing
That's
plant
right.
opening.
That's right.
But thank you to you, Cheryl, for all your support of this program.
Thank you very much. Thank you.